everyone, welcome to today's video. We're going to talk about the Brave browser. Why are they under fire? Let's find out. So welcome everyone. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, hit the bell button, like, comment, all kinds of good stuff. We're on the way to 10,000 subscribers, so thank you for being a part of the journey. It is awesome. But we're going to talk a bit more serious in terms of misuse of referral links as in relation to the Brave browser. So if you've been following me on social media and stuff like that, I've openly recommended this as a good platform to use. I personally believe it is much better than Google Chrome. You know, computers get a bit clunky, there's all kinds of tracking. If you look at the back end of Google Chrome, for example, you see all kinds of tracking links. They suck out the data of your machine essentially and make it very slow and sluggish, which can cause a problem. When you use Brave, though, it doesn't actually do that. It's really good. It obviously disables a lot of tracking. Some websites now starting to cotton on to the idea, though, that you know, you cannot see the ads. They kind of got all kinds of blockers on it. So that can be a bit of an issue, but we're going to talk today about the privacy of this. Why? Basically, but in the back end, and I'll show you the code in a second when you go through it and stuff like that. When you go into the right click and go into the element of a page and you look at certain links, they have links to referral codes to Binance, which is a problem. We're going to come on to it. So basically all the news coming out, but Brave has been redirecting searches to crypto companies to affiliate links. Bad, innit? So they're getting basically a blowback of you in that term to send you over. Now, obviously, this video isn't to come out as FUD or anything. It's just news, it's content. It's to give you a bit of a heads up. By the way, guys, if you are using this as a content creator or if you like referring people to your link, make sure if the person is using Brave, turn off all the systems or use another browser, because essentially what's happening is you send someone to, say, a link, it may actually not work at all. The tracking may actually disable it and auto-corrects. I'm going to come on to that in a second. It auto-corrects to a different link which goes directly to what the Brave browser set. And that has been confirmed by the founder. And I'll show you the tweet in a second. So, with all this, we've got Coinbase, you got obviously Binance, Trezor, as the companies that Brave have been profiting through affiliate links, which is really bad. So if you put a normal link, so if you put, say for example, Coinbase.com, when you go through it, actually puts a link to refer.whatever directly into the Binance browser, so you're aware of it. So it's really, really interesting. So this one here, this was kind of the one that highlighted it all, and I've seen the tweet, I've seen it in real time. It's like, oh, that's naughty, that. So when you're using Brave browsing, type in binance.us, you end up getting redirected to the referral link. I see what you did there, mates. It is very, very cheeky, but all these tweets here, they know they've dropped the ball. They know they've dropped the ball. So overall, this here is, it shouldn't happen. But you've also got to remember that this is a sort of thing that could happen in any form. Any bit of software that you use, whether it's a VPN or whatever, you may be found that certain things are corrected in a way that is out of your control because of the way they're set up. And that's kind of the idea of Brave. It's designed to remove all the adverts, remove all cookie tracking, remove all kinds of location tracking as well. So with the change of code in the back end of how the browser will actually work for you, it's not going to be black and white all the time. So again, another article here, it's quite big, and it realistically, it hasn't actually affected the price, which is kind of alarming, and it's kind of good and bad. But in terms of use case, we're designing a cryptocurrency market essentially through community, through people. People have been exposed to cryptocurrency via the Brave browser, which is really good. You've got to remember, this is the guys pretty much who created Mozilla Firefox, one of the leading browsers. The Brave browser, the way it's been built, it's better than everything on the market in terms of speed and reliability, because it is fast. It doesn't break your computer. It's very, very fluid, and it really does change the way your browsing experience works, especially when you turn off all the stuff. You can see the total difference between when it's actually on. So when you look through all these news articles, it is just news reporting, just remember that, but it also tells you in black and white how it actually works. The autocomplete default was inspired by search query client ID attribution, sorry, that all browsers do, unlike keyword queries. So I'll go through his tweets in a minute. Sorry for this mistake. We're clearly not perfect. We correct course quickly, but the damage is pretty much already. Can you imagine how many people are actually on their Binance affiliate link? How many people are on a Trezor link? It's a lot of money. And I want to come on to money in a second because it's quite important. This has been brought up a lot. But before all this kind of comes onto it, where, you know, it was first launched, it did an ICO, all kinds of stuff. I'll come on to the ICO in a second. But as it stands, there's over 15 million active users, adding 1.5 million between April and May of this year. It's growing a lot, and it is starting to get traction. That's bringing new people to the space. That's good. It's bringing new people exposure to actually having a cryptocurrency, the BAT token, okay, the basic attention token, which I have quite a lot of. I have about, not investment wise, but I have 700 basic attention token for absolutely nothing, right? By just using the browser, by getting the adverts and stuff like that. That is all I've done it for. And that is within a year, give or take a year. So about 700 tokens. That's quite a lot. And that is pretty much paid for like half of my electric bill for part of the month of, well, basically summer. So it's crazy to think how much money you can generate through just using the browser, which is really good for the advertising side of it. Anyways, I'm going on a tangent here. So let's look at the tweets in terms of the apology. So this is from Brendan. Now, we made a mistake, we're correcting, obviously, all kinds of stuff in terms of how it all happened. Thanks to all the, obviously, these people here. Other critical feedback. Default auto-complete for the domain should not add anything. It shouldn't add absolutely anything at all. It should not add anything other than what you are actually putting in your browser. If you're going Binance.com, it should only be Binance.com. It shouldn't have anything else after it. Obviously, redirect even a private client. That's obviously quite risky. With Brave, we are trying to build a viable business that puts users first by aligning interest via private ads that pay users, which is what I just alluded to with getting paid for actually having adverts physically appear from their, you know, their element of advertising model. This includes bringing new users to Binance and other exchanges via opt-in trading widgets, which if you go onto this bit here, you got all these widgets here. Now, I've actually turned my rewards off for now, but this here, this actually connects directly to Binance, so you can actually use it in such a way that obviously leads people to exchanges to actually buy tokens if they so need to. So obviously that the autocomplete default was inspired by search query client ID that browsers do. Unlike keyword queries, these are hard words to say in the morning. Typed in URL should only go to the domain named, so without any actual differences. So it's massively, massively important that they get this right now. I see a mistake and believe that rewrite page and link. We've never and will never do such thing. The autocomplete defaults will remove providing the provide completions to Brave's address. Basically, simple as that. So massive, massive cock up. Huge issue, but they have apologized for it. Obviously, people are saying, "Oh, you did it on purpose." No. So there's a lot of backlash, right? A lot of backlash, and obviously, I'm not trying to fuel fire with this video, but it's just there as content in terms of like, just be mindful of like, if you are physically putting in certain addresses in Brave, and you've noticed certain things in the past, that's probably why. And it's not hard to kind of understand that, well, maybe if you were literally going to a website and you've all of a sudden you latched onto something and you're getting emails from somewhere else, there may be a reason why. Maybe that reason is why. So I want to finally touch on the ICO, the money side of it. This is also, the reason why I'm talking about this is because this has been mentioned quite a lot. If I go through this, you're going to see quite a lot of posts, and I suggest if you have a little look at this, you're going to see a lot of people bounding around with the ICO. Why? The ICO was incredibly successful in June, roughly June 2017. This was like, if you're new to the space, the ICO boom was unbelievable. It made so much money. I myself included made some good money on investing in some good solid projects off startups and then selling them later on down the line, which is kind of the game you want to play. Now, it raised 35 million in 30 seconds. This was, obviously, article was published in June 2017. 6 months after that, all-time highs, right? Cool. In terms of how much Ethereum that they collected, was that. If you just quickly do the maths, right? we're going to, actually we'll do it together. Why not do it together? So we'll say roughly all-time high for Ethereum was 1,400. That is a lot of money, right? Times 1,400. That $35 million actually became $218 million. Now, obviously, they're going to be spending part of it. They'll be moving it around. But let's just say, for example, they held onto their bags throughout that time, or they sold periodically. That 35 million raise is freaking huge. Huge. Which kind of begs the question of why they need to use affiliate links from other things. Now, demand of a browser is really good. People are using it. They use Chromium, so it's actually built off the Google Chrome platform in a certain way that it leverages part of their source code. So everything that you see, it links to Google Chrome. You can go from Brave to Google Chrome in an instant. Really, really good. But let me just make this clear. This needs to stop because people will lose confidence with this product. Simple as that. The cryptocurrency market has good products, but there's always something that lets it down. There's always some little blunder that goes, oh, bollocks, we fucked it. This does not want to be added to that list because I will be so annoyed if something that is really easy and easily relatable to people, the average Joe, think of how many millions and millions use Firefox, Google Chrome, Safari, Internet Explorer, even still, some of the old guys. Huge. If everyone goes to the Brave browser and uses it for a much better experience, gets paid to see adverts via the Brave browser, get basic attention token, that is an introduction into cryptocurrency in a very simple format. So please, guys, at Brave, sort your shit out. You've apologised, don't do it again, because that is one concerning factor. And yes, the ICO I mentioned at the end, the only reason why I've mentioned it is because most ICO coins get a bad rap because they've kind of done a fundraise. They've sometimes sacked it off a little bit. Most companies have 90% of it literally died or whatever. But you guys have the lead in line of having a very good, successful ICO, a very good product. Follow through now.